Hello, and welcome to Bugs in My Backyard podcast number 4. This is Jonathan, joined with Bennett and Henry and Samuel. This is Henry's first appearance on the Bugs in My Backyard podcast. And we were out of town this weekend, so we didn't get a chance to put together. We were in Kansas at a NASCAR race, so we didn't get a chance to put together a podcast with an insect. But something cool happened this weekend. Our local paper wrote about our yard and how much we love bugs. So we wanted to talk about our yard today. And I apologize, the software doesn't flip the pictures the right direction. It's sideways.
Down.
So it was in the magazine, the Living magazine, and there was an article. Look at those cool graphics. I know it's sideways, but cool graphics. So if you're from our area, and I think I might be able to get a link for the article.
Those are both.
You can, yeah, those are both. No, one of them's Henry.
No.
Yeah, it's Henry.
I remember that shirt's mine and that shirt's mine.
No, that's Henry's. It doesn't. That's when Henry was even littler. But anyway, so it's sideways. Not a great picture, but go to the Hub from Saturday. Get your little Living magazine out, and you can read about how we got to love bugs, what we do to help bring them to our yard. And I thought that's what we would talk about today. We talk about our yard and how you can maybe get insects in your yard. So guys, what do you like about our yard? What are some things you like about it? Thoughts? What do you guys think?
The plants and animals in it.
Yeah, plants and animals. What specifically, Samuel? Anything you like about it? It's not a huge yard, but it's a big yard for being in town, right? So that's kind of nice, right?
But there's a bigger yard.
There are big yards out there. We have a lot of cool plants that attract insects. We also have birds. Lots of cool birds. Yep. Okay, and so quickly, try to name as many insects as you can that you see in our yard.
Butterfly, bee, wasp, beetle.
Bunner.
I see
Bumble.
a bunner.
Bumble what?
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee? Good job, Henry.
Honeybee, mason bee, leafcutter bee.
Yep. Scarab beetles.
Flies.
Lacewings.
Flies.
Ant.
Dung
Flies.
beetle.
Yeah. And like
Flies.
we've seen dozens. Yeah, we saw a dung beetle. We've seen dozens and dozens of bees and wasps alone. Pollinators everywhere. And just so you know, bees and wasps, most of them are not going to sting you. We have them around us all the time. And the only time we've ever been stung, this dude, because he was trying to like collect it, and the wasp was a social wasp.
I wasn't touching it.
You weren't touching it, but it was. Without giving a lot of context, unless you're near a nest of a social wasp or a social bee, you're not gonna get stung. So people have allergies, and those people need to be really careful. But for the most part, attracting bees and wasps to your yard is a great thing, and we do it. So let's show you our yard really fast here. There's one of our walkways with our flowers in bloom.
That looks way different.
Yeah, well that's in the summer. That's in the summer. Yeah.
Oh no, it's an airplane.
There's another. That's our vegetable garden.
Yeah, that looks different.
Yeah. And there's another angle from the top.
Way different.
Yeah. So.
Wait, the roses are white.
Oh, that's not a rose, but. So here we're going to talk today really quickly about how to have a yard like us. All right.
Wait.
So the question is, backyard jungle, can you have one too?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. In fact, you probably already have one and you just don't realize it. Like, you don't have to have a fancy yard with lots of fancy flowers to get insects. They're probably already in your yard. You just got to go out and explore, and we'll talk more about that. But let's say you do want to get more insects. You want to help pollinators, which are really important, right? And we talked about why pollinators are important because they help our flowers and help our food. So what are some things you guys think they can do to bring more bugs to their yards?
Plant more flowers.
Yeah. Samuel, any ideas? No?
Grow some flowers.
I know. So you can make this box that has a bunch of tubes in it and leaves leaves and twigs
Yeah.
so that leaf-colored bees and mason bees will come?
Yeah. You can make little nesting areas. Absolutely.
Make
So,
a nest.
What about birds?
yeah. Birds, you can put up bird feeders. And birds will come if insects are here because they like to eat the insects. So here's a few things you can do. First of all, you might have it now. Just go outside. You don't have to have a fancy yard to have cool bugs. Second thing is, this is a great time of year to go buy some plants that attract pollinators. And those are the ones you're going to want. And so you can, if you have our book, Bugs in My Backyard, we have a list of plants that are good. Or just go to your local greenhouse and ask them, hey, what's good for pollinators? Or ask them, hey, what plants in your greenhouse do you see bugs come to? Sometimes I walk around the greenhouse when I buy things, and I see what flowers the bees are going to, and that tells me which ones they might like in my yard. Just so you know, though, not all the pretty annuals that people buy will attract insects.
Like
the ones that are tropical.
goldenrod.
No, goldenrod's great.
No, but they shoe bugs.
No, they're good. They bring bugs.
No, because they stink.
All right, well, we have a lot of goldenrod in our yard, and there we have.
No. You gotta
So
talk.
anyway, my point is, ask the people at the greenhouse. Just get a few, plant them. Try to buy some that bloom in the spring, in the summer, and or early in the
Or
fall.
ones that stay awake all
Right.
year.
Like, do you
round.
guys eat food all year long?
No. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so do bugs. There are bugs that come out in the spring. There are bugs that come out in the summer, and there are bugs that come out in the fall, not the winter.
Yeah.
But so
I've
you
seen a
need
bug in the winter.
right in the house maybe. But you need food sources for them all year round. So try to buy plants, and so you stagger them out. You have a spring bloomer, a summer bloomer, and a fall bloomer. Another thing, insects like high grass. So leave a part of your yard where it's not mowed. Leave a part that won't bother your neighbors or whatever, but leave an area that can get a little taller, because insects like cover, and sometimes they use it to hibernate or lay their eggs for the winter in high grass. So leave an area that gets kind of out of control. Not
And
everything.
snakes. They
Yeah,
do that
snakes.
too.
Not everything has to be super nice, okay, in your yard to attract bugs. The other thing, don't use chemicals in your lawn. Sometimes it is necessary. I know people feel like they need to, and so I'm not going to try to dictate whether people should use chemicals in their lawn and with their plants. But let me just say, don't do it unless you have a really, really good reason and know why you're doing it and how you're doing it. So when your parents do it, make sure they ask them, why are we putting this down? What's it going to do? Because I would tell you that the chemicals in your lawns, and chemicals that are used to kill bad bugs often kill all the good ones too. And when you kill the good ones often feed on the bad ones.
Well, what about mosquito spray?
Mosquitoes, actually, that's my next thing. If you want insects in your yard but don't want mosquitoes, you can buy these cool dunks called BTI. They're like little donuts, and you can get it in a dust form too. B as in boy, T as in Tom, I as in igloo, BTI. And you can get that, I know Earl May stores sell it in Nebraska. And what you want to do, the reason mosquitoes come around is there's standing water. So if you have it in a bucket or a puddle or in a cart or something where water collects, old tires, mosquitoes will breed in those. So you can control mosquitoes by putting these dunks into those standing water areas, or just turning over your standing water altogether so that they don't grow. So you don't have to have mosquitoes. Having insects doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have mosquitoes, as long as you take good care of the water. So that's how you can have one. So those are some cool things. Last thing. How do we find bugs? Okay, so you attract them to your yard. How do we actually go find them? So guys, what are some tips that you would give kids about finding insects?
Look by bushes.
We're outside, so we're seeing some animals and different things. All right.
Lisa dropping the stick.
Yes, and our sister who just likes to hover over our podcast and not be in it.
You can look by bushes and flowers, by trees and trees.
Yeah.
By me.
Samuel, how can we
On
find?
me.
How can you find insects?
By looking.
Well, that's actually a great point. No, you laugh, but that's actually a good point, right? Because how do we sometimes look? We look like our eyes. We look far in the distance. When you come look for bugs.
You look right there.
Okay, we're almost done.
Oh,
Okay. Henry. Okay, Henry wants to say something.
I found like a little bug by our door, and it was like gray and it had antennae.
Yep, Henry's good at finding insects. So the point is, like with bugs, I would say a few things for people who want to find bugs, okay? Okay, one is you got to get close. So you can't be far away because insects are little, right? Tiny. So you got to get close to the plants.
Well, not a rhino beetle or a...
But even those relatively next to normal things are pretty small. Next thing is you got to focus your eyes differently. Your eyes are looking off in the distance. You got to focus your eyes on what's up close. And just refocus your eyes up close. The next thing is go to, like Bennett said, go to flowers. A lot, particularly flowers and in bushes, I would say are good places to find things.
That is weird.
Praying mantises often like bushes.
On sticks.
And then look for movement. Just keep your eyes and you might just see a little movement out of the corner of your eye. Yes, kind of like that. And then be patient. So just sit still for like just a couple minutes.
Like a bird?
And the insects will come. I promise. If you have flowers that insects like, they'll come. So, okay. So that's our thing. Just showing you about our yard. We really enjoy it. And, anyone can have a backyard jungle like that. You can have cool pictures.
Henry?
You have cool pictures like that from your yard.
Cool.
That's from our yard. You can see cool bees like this leafcutter bee.
Cool.
What leaf cutter be?
Like that.
That's the leaf cutter.
You can see cool things like this.
Do you have a
You can
picture
see
of a
wasps
mason bee?
catching their prey to go feed their
Do
babies.
you have a picture of a mason bee?
I do not have a picture of a mason bee. You can see things like this bee. Here's a cool bee. Again, not gonna hurt you.
Yes.
Not gonna hurt you. That bee will not bother you.
Unless you touch it.
Unless you like literally hold it. The bee is not gonna sting you.
I hold it before.
Ow!
And let's see if we have any more cool pictures to show. And like I said, refocus your eyes and look close.
What?
Look at that. That's an insect. That is a I'm having a brain freeze. It's a type of true bug. But anyway, it's actually a predator. It's a predator. You see the proboscis.
Flies?
It'll eat anything it can get its proboscis into.
Whoa.
So you just refocus your eyes. That thing is like half an inch tall or half an inch long.
Wow, that's big.
But it's there. It's in your yard. I promise you it's in your yard. And sometimes you're going to see cool things like
What if you're in
birds too. That's a Carolina wren.
You'll never see one of those.
You'll see
Or
bugs in
like a
Alaska.
great horned owl.
Not that true bug.
Well, but you'll see different kinds of things. And then again, just refocusing your eyes. These are eggs,
Oh, I thought that
lacewing eggs. And that's just from refocusing your eyes, looking up close at the leaves. So again, just observe in a different way than you're used to. And one more. I'm going to show one more cool picture that we've seen. Look, and you'll see unique things. Look at that. That's a snout butterfly because it has a big nose.
He looks weird.
Yeah, he does. But see, those are the things. Those are in your yards. Those are in my yards.
Everybody knows.
Everybody has them,
that
but you're just not looking. And then I'll go to a praying mantis last. Look at that tiny baby praying mantis.
It's Hope.
Yeah, it's our dogs here. Okay, so we're gonna go now, but please spend time looking at your yard. It's not just our yard. Your yard can have great things too. Maybe a couple more flowers, but you just got to take time to look. All right. Okay, that's it. Thanks all. Bye.
Bye.
Whenever we do it
Bye.